So I just finished watching this really fun series on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Called Rise of Shield Hero.
Okay.
It's like sort of this. Do you know the isekai genre? Like the whole, it's the person from Japan transported into a fantasy world. Oftentimes. Oh, nice. Good hit. I think we might need wedges.
Yeah. Good old apple, eh?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do wedges.
The thing with green apples is they wind up coming in very wide variety of.
Apple, eh? Come on, apple.
Why don't you use the? Do you have a sledge?
I have a sledge. I'm not sure if... Well, the sledge is hardened enough. This is probably hardened enough, eh? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go get the sledge. All right, I call this my pocket battleship. Now, I'm wearing glasses, so I'm not too concerned, but just in case there are sparks, don't get too close. Man, that's loud. Resistance is futile. Man, this is weird stuff. This apple. It's stringy. It's fibrous. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that's our apple. Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Today, something a little different. Robin and I, you've seen Robin on my live stream before. What we're trying today is we're going to make a proof of concept of a ferro rod design I have in my head. Somewhere around here I have a packet of ferro rods, a little bit of apple, got a big old hunk of pine. We're gonna try out a couple of different shapes, see what fits in the hand, and then once we've spent our day doing that...
And Jesse's going to learn how to use a lathe.
I was going to say, Robin's here for two reasons. A, because everything is less boring with him around, and B, he can turn, and I can't turn. I can't do that. All right, so let's do it. Oh, but before we do it, I do want to say that if you're new around here and you want to see more cool videos, traffic, eh? More cool videos about outdoorsy stuff like bushcraft or bushcraft cooking, or camping, or hiking, or maybe a few projects like this, please subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss anything. All right, let's do it. Wait, what? Take out...
Like that?
We can do a few of those sizes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like if we do like 2-inch sections, so like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Okay, got some pine, got a little council tool action. I'm glad I finally got to do that review.
Yeah.
That was really, really bugging me. So, like
yeah,
there.
Like
See if one side is more stable. Oh, I don't want to be chopping into that filth. Alright, so we'll do the plain side no matter what.
Yeah, so it's about 2-inch length. And it might wander. It looks pretty straight grain. So.
Yeah. So what are you doing here?
I'm just looking to find the center. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't have to be. These aren't square, so it doesn't have to be super precise. Either way, we're going to be left with more than enough material. You just pick 2 points to center in, and then you just punch a little hole in the end to guide it into the live spur.
The reason we're not going to stick a ferro rod in the end of this one up front is because we're just messing
around.
with...
Do a bunch of handle shapes in a row.
Yeah, just to sort of see what fits well in the hand. Also, that way, as I'm turning for the first time, I'm not wrecking a ferro rod handle. I'm wrecking a piece of scrap wood.
There you go. He kind of needs a little bit of help because the this point is really, really long on this particular one. This is a Craft X mini lathe. So, I mean, it's intended for like home hobby projects. This is not a professional lathe by any stretch of the imagination, but here we go.
Okay, so you're sticking that on. So you were pounding it before just to get the point in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I see what you're doing. And so do you tighten it up?
Yeah, so what I'm doing, so now that I've got it pressed up against it so that it now sits there pretty well.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tighten the end.
Okay.
And then use this to press. Let's get loosened. Loosened it too much. This is budget lathe.
What's that thing that you just loosened?
This is basically intended to tighten the distance, to fix this at its current distance so it doesn't come apart while you're turning.
Okay, and then this?
This is the screw that advances it so that it's pressed right up against that. Yeah.
Now, those of you who've been watching my Bushcraft cocktail series will see that at this point, the last episode of that series, how I had a muddler that I used on the rosemary. Robin turned me that muddler. I mentioned that in the video. I'll put a link to that up there somewhere.
So if you come around here, you generally want to have the tool rest as close to the wood as possible
without it binging,
without actually interfering with the turning. And you want it roughly about center so that you're meeting the wood as it's coming down. You always, if it's an irregular shape, you want to start at a low speed.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you're only hitting the
because it's going to get unbalanced, and like I said, I didn't do a super good job in making this lathe stand. So.
But I can actually see it getting rounder.
Yep. Yeah, you always want to watch the back end to see your shape, because you're gonna see
okay, so you're watching across.
I'm watching the back. This there.
Yeah.
If you find you're having trouble, like once we get to the apple, if you start going straight on, you might find that it's gonna get a lot of catches, like you were seeing there. So if you kind of turn it sideways, then you're gonna get a pairing cut where it's basically coming down onto the tool at an angle instead of slicing.
It's more of a slicing action. Yeah.
Like this.
But when you're getting to finer work, are you still going to try that pairing action?
Yes.
So, this isn't as loud as I was expecting, which I'm nice.
Well, with pine, yeah, it's not that loud. And again, it's not, I mean, it's a tiny little machine. It's like I think maybe a 1/2 horsepower motor or a 1/3 horsepower motor.
Okay, so with a bigger machine, it would be a lot louder. And if I was doing like hickory or something.
The roughing gouge, again, pine is really, really soft. So this is, sort of unique to this kind of wood. That is a skewing cut. So I was using the skew chisel, which again I stink at. So
much smoother.
Yeah, much smoother. So the trick to using these chisels once you start getting down to the fine work is essentially to ride the bevel. So what you're doing is you're putting it there so that it's not cutting. Then you're lifting the tool. Oops. Let me actually get myself back here so I can. So the secret to it, which again I'm not necessarily very good at, is to always make sure that the flat bevel touches the wood first. Because if you go straight in, that's how you get the catches. Show what the finish is like.
Oh yeah, that's much smoother. You can see right there?
Yeah, you can feel that with your finger. Like that's almost like sanded smooth.
So I don't have any really good ferro rods to judge in terms of getting the size of the handle. This seems really long to me. This is good for an awl. But it seems that people who are doing ferro rods are doing little guys like that, light my fire size. So maybe what we'll try is a couple of around 2.5 inches.
Yep.
Maybe one or two that are this long. That's 3.5, I think. And then maybe one that's like real short, like 1.5 inches.
Yeah, sure, why not?
So did you take measurements?
Yeah, so this is 3 inches.
That's 3 inches? Okay, that's just a pencil there. So this one's the sorting hat?
The parting tool.
Parting tool, yes.
The looking glass.
The looking glass. So if the first one we do, because pear-shaped I think is good, but do we want that flare? Yeah, I guess we want a bit of flare. Should we make just a straight up copy of this?
Yeah. Do you want one with a really deep thing so you can kind of hook it on one finger?
No, I don't think that would be. I even think that this might be too long. Like I think most of them are like that big.
Okay.
But let's try one that's essentially this. Maybe a bit. Let's copy this first, and then make one that's about half the size. It's funny that you're getting a flat edge with that skew. It's all about how you hold it, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, see, look at the catch. Yep.
Oops.
Well, it's a...
Fortunately, we're coming in, like, we're gonna...
Oh, wait, this is your narrowest point?
Yeah. Okay. See how it sort of...
Swoops in.
It swoops and then flares out a
Yeah.
little bit?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You got a lot more confidence about this than I do.
No. So this, you want the wood to meet the blade about there, and sort of going this way. You don't want to engage with the tip, and you don't want to engage like too deeply with the blade, with the edge. So otherwise, it's just gonna. There you go. Oh, that was perfect.
Nice. Yeah, I knew.
Yeah. You were just looking for that.
Just pretending to not know what I'm doing. So this is scraping? This is a scraper?
Yeah, this is scraping. So basically, you're meeting. Essentially, the wood is meeting the blade at an angle of more than 90 degrees.
And do I do it the same way? I sort of do
yeah,
this
but
and then
don't do
come
it. Yeah, just don't get so deep down. Like just sort of go there, and then just sort of meet the wood like that.
Okay.
Sorry.
What did you do?
I ruined it.
Everything's ruined. So shorter, same shape. But here's what I'm wondering. If we just shorten it in the same shape, we'll just end up with a much squatter version, right?
Yeah.
But will that be harder to hold in the hand?
Well, I mean, this is why we have like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of pine, right? We can just just fool around. Well, it's in terms of we've gone sanding from 100 to from 80 to 150.
Yeah.
And now one more thing, if you want to just sort of smooth it down, is this is a bit too rough for that, but you can burnish it. So you basically just take some of the wood shavings and you just rub it against it, and essentially the oils in the wood itself will polish down the surface. Now you can burn yourself doing this, so just be careful because it's the frictional.
So is it a light touch or?
Well, you try and do it as firmly as you can, but you won't be able to do it for very long. They say it'll.
Hold on. Looks pretty nice. As you know, neither of us, you've never used one of these, right? I've never used one of these before, so I don't even know if we're doing it right. I think we'll have to clamp it down to keep it nice and tight, so that all we're worried about is whether or not this is moving in there. But as I said, proof of concept, we're just checking sizes and fittings, just to see how it fits in the hand. Robin has a plan so cunning, you could put a tail on it and call it a fox.
Not very smart.
But a fox nonetheless. As I said, a plan so cunning. You could stick a tail on it and call it a... Oops.
No, this is good.
It's good?
Yes, we want it to go all the way through.
Ready? This is not particularly safe. I just want to see if it's going to bounce around. Pretend this is a scraper. This one definitely feels good. That one good. I like it. Okay, so we got 3 designs here. A very small one, flattened off a little spot on 3 of the 4 designs for, to keep it from rolling. So there's one. This is a little more ornate looking, but it's fun.
Robin's experiment.
Robin's experiment. That's Robin's design. This one, there's a certain magic to that, but it's very, very plain. very easy to hold. All of them are. This one's a little weirder, but anyway. And this is sort of your classic all handle shape, essentially. So I guess I'll call this one A, this one B, C, and D. And as I said before, there's a poll up there so that you guys can tell me which one you like the best. I'm not going to go into like a real cottage industry on this or anything, because I've only got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've only got 11 of these. So I'm probably only going to make 11, or I don't know, if they're popular, or I decide to, I don't know. Maybe I'll buy more, but right now I've only got plans for 11 of them. But I don't know. Which of these designs do you guys think is coolest? This guy? I can't have you guys all hold them in your hands, so you're going to have to go by theory. I tried to sort of think about multiple different hand sizes with these, not just tiny little hands or huge ones. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? If I put them here, does that show up in camera, Rob?
Yes, it does.
Okay. A, B, C. This one doesn't have that flat spot, so it rolls. And D. They won't be in pine when I finally make them. We got some apple here. Maybe I'll find some hickory. I don't know. Well, Gur, I forgot to film the outro with Robin the other day. Oh well. So as I always say, if you like what I'm doing here, then please do the following 2 things. First, get the conversation started down below. Which of those designs do you like best? And do you think I should, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to do anything with this. I may just make a few for my own pleasure or something. Give some, I don't know. Whatevs. Which design do you like best? There's a poll up in the corner there. Please vote in the poll. Say whatever the heck you want about ferro rods down below. Especially if you've made some. If you've made any, I want to hear from you, okay? The second thing I want you to do is leave me a smiley thumb. If you don't like what I'm doing, that's okay. Just leave me a frowny thumb. Thanks for watching, guys.